Okay, everyone, so picture this. It's graduation season and everyone's celebrating the big moment, right? But what if you're sitting there feeling totally overlooked while your sibling is basking in all the glory?
Yeah,
That's the vibe we're diving into today. Introduction. Alright, let's get into it. So my sister just graduated high school. And you think it would be all rainbows and sunshine, right? But here's the twist: my parents decided to turn her graduation into a full-blown festival of praise and rewards while I felt like I was just invisible. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm super proud of her. But it's hard not to feel a twinge of resentment when all the attention and accolades are focused solely on her. This is the story of how I navigated those feelings and what happened when I finally decided to say something. Rising action. Let me set the scene for you. During graduation season, my Instagram feed was flooded with photos of caps flying in the air, tears of joy, and heartfelt speeches. Everyone was celebrating their achievements, but it felt like my sister was the star of the show. She had her own parade going on at home. It was like my parents had blinders on, completely focused on her successes. I remember one evening I came home after a long day at work, just wanting to share something I was proud of. I had finished a big project that I poured my heart into. But when I walked in, it was all, "Look at your sister's graduation photos. And did you see her awards?" My heart sank a little. It's like I was a ghost in my own house. As the days went on, it just got worse. My sister was getting gifts, cards, and even a party thrown in her honor. And there I was, feeling like the forgotten child. I started to retreat into my room more often, scrolling through social media and watching everyone else get their moment while I felt left out. It's not a fun place to be. And those feelings of neglect started to build up inside me like a volcano ready to erupt. Climax. So here's where things hit the fan. One night, after a particularly extravagant dinner celebrating my sister's graduation, I couldn't hold it in anymore. I just exploded. I confronted my parents about their favoritism. And trust me, it was intense. I was like, what about me? Do I not matter? I have achievements too? The room went silent. My sister looked shocked. And my parents had this look of confusion on their faces. It felt like all the tension that had been building up finally came crashing down. My mom tried to defend herself, saying they were just proud of my sister, but I could see it in her eyes. She didn't realize how it was affecting me. It turned into a really emotional exchange, and I think we all learned a lot about each other that night. After that confrontation, things felt different. My parents were more aware of how they talked about my sister's accomplishments around me, and they started to ask me about my own life more often. It was a step in the right direction, but I still felt a bit of distance between my sister and me. Following action after that night, things were definitely awkward. I mean, how do you go back to normal after laying your feelings bare like that? I could tell my sister felt a bit guilty about all the attention she was getting. We started having more honest conversations, and slowly but surely, we worked on our relationship. My parents also made an effort to celebrate my achievements, even the small ones. They realized that while my sister's graduation was a huge deal, it didn't mean that my life and my successes didn't matter. We even ended up having a family night where we shared our proudest moments, and it felt good to be seen and appreciated. But it wasn't all rainbows and butterflies. There were still moments where I'd feel a pang of jealousy when my sister was praised, and I had to remind myself that we're on the same team, not competing against each other. It took time, but we were learning together how to balance things out. Resolution. So what did I learn through all this? Family dynamics can be really tricky, and sometimes it takes a little push to open up those lines of communication. It's important to recognize everyone's accomplishments, not just the standout ones. I realize that it's okay to feel overlooked sometimes, but that doesn't mean you're not valued. At the end of the day, I'm really proud of my sister, and I'm glad we've been able to work through those feelings together. It's made our bond stronger, and now we celebrate each other's successes equally. That's the kind of family dynamic I want to have. Call to action CTA. So I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever felt overlooked in your family? How did you handle it? Drop your stories in the comments below. And if you want to hear more about sibling relationships and family dynamics, make sure to check out my next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. Thanks for hanging out with me today.